Barca clinched La Liga title with 2 games to spare. A 2-0 win at Espanyol in round 36 secured Hansi Flick's side enough points to dethrone Real Madrid. After 35 rounds, Barça were 7 points ahead of Real Madrid and held the head-to-head advantage. Hansi Flick's squad only needed 2 more points from the final 3 matches to seal the title. They wasted no time, clinching their 28th La Liga title in the very next round, thanks to goals from Lamine Yamal and Fermin Lopez. Espanyol, fighting to avoid relegation, made life difficult for Barca early on. They nearly opened the scoring in the 4th minute when Urko Gonzalez missed narrowly in a one-on-one with goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny. In the 16th minute, Barca had another scare, but Szczesny came up big with a save against Javi Puado. After a shaky start, Barca began to respond. Robert Lewandowski, Raphinha, and Lamine Yamal all took turns testing Espanyol keeper Jong Garcia. However, the first half ended goalless. Barca showed clear intent to wrap up the title in the second half, increasing the tempo, dominating possession, and executing with more precision. In the 53rd minute, Yamal displayed his game-changing talent with a moment of brilliance. Cutting inside from the right wing, the 17-year-old curled a left-footed shot from 18 meters into the top corner. Not wanting to see their city rivals crowned champions on their home turf, Espanyol launched a fierce counterattack. Sitting 5th from bottom, they resorted to aggressive challenges to disrupt Barca's rhythm. In the 79th minute, Leandro Cabrera was shown a straight red card for punching Yamal in the stomach during a challenge. With a man advantage, Barca took full control. In the 96th minute, Yamal threaded a pass through to Fermin Lopez, who calmly slotted home from 16 meters into the bottom left corner to seal a 2-0 victory. The win at Espanyol restored Barca's 7-point gap over Real Madrid, who can no longer catch up even if they win their remaining 2 matches, officially ending their reign as champions. Barca have now swept all 3 domestic titles in the 2024 to 2025 season. Prior to the league win, Yamal and his teammates defeated Real Madrid 5-2 in the Spanish Super Cup final and 3-2 in the Copa del Rey final. The only trophy they missed was the Champions League, where they lost 6-7 on aggregate to Inter in the semifinals. Flick's youth revolution turns Barca into champions. In his first season in charge, Hansi Flick led Barcelona to a domestic treble, thanks to the emergence of young talent, the resurgence of key veterans, and a unified spirit that lasted all season. At the start of the 1995-96 Premier League season, former Liverpool defender Alan Hansen famously declared, "You can't win anything with kids." That same season, Manchester United's class of '92, under Sir Alex Ferguson, proved him wrong by winning both the Premier League and FA Cup, cementing their place as one of the world's greatest teams. Now, Barcelona's own young musketeers are drawing similar expectations. Under Hansi Flick's guidance, the team delivered thrilling football and clinched a domestic treble, winning the Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey, and La Liga. Young stars like Lamine Yamal, 17, Pau Cubarsí, 18, and Pedri, 22, played key roles in this success. The core of young players is even expected to usher in a new golden era for Barca, reminiscent of Pep Guardiola's legendary side from 2008 to 2011. At the start of the season, financial constraints meant Barca couldn't afford big-name signings. At times, they couldn't even register available players. Ironically, this limitation became a launch pad for youth. With an average age of just 25, the lowest in La Liga this season, Barca relied heavily on homegrown talents. Flick placed full trust in his young squad, so much so that he even let them choose the dressing room music. This translated on the pitch into a youthful, expressive, and at times even naive style of play. But youth alone didn't win the treble. Several other factors played crucial roles. When Flick arrived, many senior players were underperforming after losing confidence under former coach Xavi. Stars like Robert Lewandowski, Raphinha, and Frankie de Jong had slumped, feeling unwanted at the club. Flick made it clear they were central to his plans, and they delivered. Lewandowski scored 40 goals in 50 appearances across all competitions. Raphinha emerged as a top Ballon d'Or contender. Jong played 44 games and captained the team in the crucial 4-3 El Clasico win that all but secured the La Liga title. The German tactician also maintained strong ties with fringe players, ensuring everyone felt involved, especially crucial during injury crises amid a congested fixture list. Flick, 60, introduced a player-centric philosophy. No one knows their body better than the player himself. He consulted players before making rest or rotation decisions, helping build trust within the squad. He also stood firm in the face of media pressure and remained honest with his players, a trait tested when Barca earned just 5 points from 4 losses leading into the Christmas break. A turning point came with a thrilling 5-4 win over Benfica in the Champions League group stage in January 2025. That match saw Flick discover his ideal lineup, including De Jong and Dani Olmo, while Raphinha showcased his leadership. Flick needed a leader in defense and found one in Íñigo Martinez. Though naturally suited to deeper defensive lines, the 33-year-old adapted to a high line, frequently playing the offside trap. Despite not being the fastest, Martinez executed Flick's tactical demands with discipline. Flick also invested significant effort in mentoring Yamal, the 17-year-old prodigy who craved the spotlight in every game. Flick reminded him often about his responsibilities, especially without the ball, or risk being benched. Yamal responded by contributing both in attack and defense, even outperforming Barca's center backs and Pedri in ball recoveries during the 4-3 win over Real. The most vital factor in Barca's success was unity. Under the leadership of Raphinha, De Jong, and Yamal, the entire squad rallied behind Flick's vision. While Flick laid the blueprint, it was the players who carried it out with passion and belief. Discipline was also a cornerstone of Flick's regime. He emphasized punctuality and proper attire. Jules Koundé was benched 3 times for being late to team meetings. Goalkeeper Iñaki Peña faced the same fate for arriving late to the Spanish Super Cup semifinal against Bilbao. Personally, Flick was free from the lingering pain of hip replacement surgery he underwent just before joining Barcelona. He described feeling liberated, less fatigued, and more focused. However, the German coach acknowledges that Barca still have room to grow. The team conceded 24 goals in just 14 matches and failed to reach the Champions League final. The target for next season is to improve game control and build on the aggressive attacking play that helped them produce numerous comeback wins this year. Messi fumes, argues with referee after 3-3 draw, with San Jose Lionel Messi, David Beckham, and other Inter Miami members showed visible frustration after their 3-3 draw with San Jose on May 15th. But the tension had been building for weeks as the team endures one of its most difficult stretches of the season. Their Champions Cup dreams were crushed by Vancouver Whitecaps with an aggregate loss of 5-1, despite having marked the tournament as a top priority. To some extent, losing to Vancouver, MLS leaders, is understandable. But conceding 4 goals to a mid-table team like FC Dallas back in late April pointed to a troubling trend. Miami has developed a bad habit of leaking goals consistently and in large numbers. For Messi, the situation is all too familiar. He's been part of star-studded teams before, teams with imbalances and a lack of clear structure. The more games Miami plays, the more they resemble the version of PSG Messi played for across 2 seasons. Brilliant individuals, but systemic flaws. Like PSG, Inter Miami struggles to integrate a high-profile attacking trio with the rest of the squad. Messi, Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba, and Sergio Busquets are all capable of producing magical moments. But a shaky midfield and defense have doomed the team in big games. Just as PSG crumbled in crucial Champions League matches, Miami is faltering in every major competition: MLS Cup, Champions Cup, and even regular season consistency. Coach Javier Mascherano has attempted to restore balance by introducing Yannick Bright, a classic ball winner who graduated from the U.S. college soccer system. He's among the league leaders in tackles, interceptions, and other dark arts of football that stars like Messi often can't or won't do. But chasing down fast breaks still falls to Busquets, now 36, and far past his peak in such defensive duties. Their painful playoff loss to Atlanta United last season exposed the need for more pace and physicality in defense. Miami brought in Maxi Fulkin and Gonzalo Lujan to address that. But while they've helped, the gap between midfield and defense remains glaring. Opponents continue to exploit that space with swift transitions. Not all of Miami's issues are tactical. No strategy can explain Marcelo Weigandt's bizarre own goal against Minnesota, an unpressured header into his own net, or Jordi Alba abandoning his position to chase the ball into the corner, leaving Bongo Kula Hlongwan wide open to score. Mental lapses and poor concentration have plagued the team, much like in their season-ending loss to Atlanta last year. If the players perform poorly, the blame is clearly on me. It's all my responsibility, Mascherano said when questioned about the team's form. If the coach can't convince the players or communicate the game plan properly, then it's entirely the coach's fault. Should the slump continue, Mascherano may feel more than pressure. He may face the sack. This is a far cry from the early season optimism. Miami opened the year with an 8-match unbeaten run, peaking with a 1-0 away win over Columbus Crew that sent them to the top of the Eastern Conference on April 19th. At that point, Mascherano seemed to have built a side that could both win beautifully and fight through adversity. But cracks quickly appeared. Against Vancouver, the Canadian side flooded the central areas, forcing Miami to play out wide, limiting touches for their key players. Without a true winger, the attack lacked sharpness. Minnesota, meanwhile, countered with direct, high-tempo play that left Miami's backline constantly exposed. Miami is expected to strengthen the squad this summer. Big European names like Kevin De Bruyne and Angel Di Maria have been frequently linked with the club. The summer transfer window may provide short-term fixes, but not in time for the Club World Cup, where Miami and Messi in particular will be under the global spotlight. Even Mascherano has voiced concerns, saying the team is not yet good enough to compete at that level. Despite everything, Inter Miami still has enough star power to challenge for the Supporters' Shield, and they are only 6 points off the top of the Eastern Conference. Last year, the team hit form in the summer and even broke regular season points records. But in 2025, success won't be judged by regular season wins. It will come down to silverware. Another Leagues Cup, like the one won in 2023, won't be enough. Messi never won a Champions League with PSG, and history may repeat itself with Inter Miami in the MLS Cup or Champions Cup.